Yeah.
So the show happened on August 26, 2017, and on September 5th, GFW releases a statement that you're taking an indefinite leave of absence. So we're talking like 10 days later. The Observer would write, it was clear that the decision was not something he knew about in advance because he sent out a tweet that morning talking about going back into the office to start a day of work. And that day was scheduled to host a party for the company staff at his home, which ended up being canceled. How did all this come down? I know that there's been a lot written about it, been a lot said about it, but I assume you guys fly home from Mexico. When I say you guys, I mean you and Ed. Are y'all on the same flight? Are y'all talking? Or you just show up to the airport? We're going different places. So see
I
you
don't
later.
remember as far as kind of doubt. He probably went back to Toronto. So my
Yeah.
guess is no, but I don't remember that particular. I just remember kind of getting home. Obviously, a complete mess. Nobody happy with me anywhere in my life. And I want to say it was maybe 24 hours, maybe 48 hours. Hey, Jeff, we're going to meet at the office on. So that would have been that date, maybe that whatever date that the announcement was made. And me and Ed met, and it was, Jeff, you need to go get your life in order, and we'll revisit all of this. So in their defense, you know, when you are in the middle of and papers, some signed, not, and I think the formalities of some not signed. So it was literally right in the middle of the deal, but all the deal points, and again, I don't want to rehash all the litigated stuff, but we had agreed on everything, but there were still some formalities and some IP exchanges as far as the rights, and it was a mess that I made so messy, Conrad. But Ed, they gave me an opportunity to go get my life in order. Was the reality, and so that was kind of the pill that I swallowed. I knew it, as I look at it today, I didn't know how sick I was, but I knew, okay, that's what that disease does. Okay, I got an issue. I need to go fix this. But that's just, lack of a better word, Conrad, let me just go put a Band-Aid on this, or let me just go get some sutures, or let me just go, fix things my way, if you will. And so my solution was 6 weeks of outpatient. That was, go ahead.
What was the party supposed to be about at your house with the staff?
So Labor Day weekend. And,
Okay.
and I'm assuming that those timelines, I think I came home from that because I think we met at the office the day after, but I think that party was canceled going into the weekend because of my screw up in Mexico. That Karen's like, no, we ain't getting a group out here and drink again.
I get it.
I think that was kind of the exact timeline.
Talk to me a little bit about how you felt in that meeting with Ed, where Ed's saying, hey, you need to go, fix yourself, and we'll table this and we'll discuss it later. Respectfully, you'd been hearing something like that from Karen for a while, and it was in one ear and out the other. How was your message from Ed delivered, or how did it land with you?
So he brought an attorney who had dealt with
this stuff before.
The situations. And on the one hand, they brought the hammer down. On the other hand, it's fixable. So I went from ashamed to angry to ashamed to angry to pessimistic to optimistic. And all right, I need to get myself removed from this equation. There is insanity going on here. It's what a good active alcoholic does. You kind of start blaming everybody but yourself, and point fingers at the budgets, and a list a mile long.
It's not me, it's this.
well, this is why I did this and this is why I did that. But so I tried to remove I cleaned my office out, and they were like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, no, let's kind of do a complete reset here. I also had in the back of my mind that what are the real ulterior motives? I started thinking okay, what is really going on here?
Okay. Let me time out right there. When you're saying ulterior motives,
they wanted me out because they didn't want to spend the money that I wanted to spend.
Wrestling breeds paranoia. Would you agree with that?
For sure.
And you had been a part of this exact same company, granted, different ownership, different set of players, but you had been on the other side of political maneuvering before. So when this comes down in your probably arrogant alcoholic brain at the time, you're thinking, oh, here's what they're really doing. It couldn't possibly be that you needed to do something different. It was, well, hey, they tried to break that girl's arm and nobody else is going to say shit. I'm going to be the man and say something and blah, blah, blah. So you had that approach, I'm sure, to all of this, right? It's at least in the back of your mind.
My mentality, I think, clear would be, I've hung myself. I gave him rope.
Okay. So now you're ashamed because you allowed this to happen. You created the circumstance where they could do this to you.
Yes.
I see. Well, the Observer would write, the big question not exactly answered regards the future of Jeff Jarrett. Jeff has gone to take care of personal issues, which are generally believed to be alcohol related. Time out right there. Do you want to tell everybody what a Double J used to be? Your go-to drink? What was it called? And what was it?
Rum and Dr. Pepper.
Rum and Dr. Pepper. This is a guy who now would not eat sugar for any amount of money. And he's just double dosing here. Nordham is talking about the subject, gave the impression that at some point Jarrett would be back. Karen Jarrett on Twitter positioned this as 100% positive for GFW and for Jeff, and thanked Ed for giving Jeff the time he needs. Obviously, Jeff had no idea this was coming, but there were people in the company who were expecting this and pretty much aware of it after Triple Mania.